Mga ate at mga kuya, welcome back to Kuya Puto's channel. So, lately, puro daya videos yung ginagawa natin dito sa channel natin. And yung mga tao, entertain na entertain. Mga viewers natin para nagustuhan. You know, my job is to give our viewers what they want. So, naisip ko po, the last couple of videos, it's about the casino allegedly trying to cheat people. What if I told you yung mga pandadaya, yung mga pandurugas, the majority of it comes from the players, comes from the customers. Maniniwala ba kayo? Yung po pag-uusapan natin dito sa topic natin ngayon. So enjoy! So guys, maniniwala ba kayo sa akin kung sasabihin ko sa inyo, yung mga pandurugas, yung mga pandaraya, karamihan po nun, the majority of it comes from players. Yes, hindi po nagagaling sa casino. Oh, then again, depende kung anong casino yan, right? But we're talking about legit regulated casinos. You know, if anything, kami pa po ang naghahanap ng mandadaya. Imbes na kami ang mandadaya. When I say kami, I mean the casino. To make a long story short, there are a million ways that people try to cheat the casino. And kung pag-uusapan po natin lahat dito, this will be like a 5-hour video. So, I'm just gonna name a few. And kung meron po kayo alam na hindi ko na-mention dito sa video na to, I highly suggest put it down in the comment section. And you never know, maybe we'll make a video for that on a later date. So I'm just gonna give examples. So ganito yan, guys. I'm gonna categorize this under 3 different headings. 4 different headings. Small time, mid-level, big time, and professional. Different levels po yan eh. Okay? So that's what we're gonna talk about today. And we're gonna focus more on this video sa table games. Dahil yun po ang background ko. And like I've mentioned in my previous videos, over the years, napakadami pong training na pinamukha sa amin nung trabaho ko. They've even sent consultants from Las Vegas to teach us kung paano yung mga daya. That way we're aware pa nagtatrabaho kami and we can spot it from anywhere on the casino floor. My old work, and I'm pretty sure all casinos out there that are legit, spends so much money, guys, on game security training. That way they can share the knowledge amongst the staff. So, pag nandun po kami sa casino floor, kung merong unusual na nangyayari, may spot po namin and we can put a stop to it, di ba? So, it's to their advantage, parang investment nila yun sa amin. So, let's talk about these 4 different levels. Let's start with the small-time cheaters. Okay? Yung mga small-time na mga mandaraya, na mga players. Sa table games po, it could be as simple as changing your money to get chips. So, marami pong beses nangyayari, yung player, uupo sa mesa. Blackjack table, roulette table, poker table, it doesn't matter. Ilalatag po niya yung pera niya in exchange for chips. Dahil sa casino floor po, we deal with chips, not money. Okay? So, bibilangin ng dealer yun. And it's not uncommon po, minsan, pag pumasok yung player, umupo, ganung kakapal yung mga pera na nilalapag sa mesa. Like, you know, sometimes in the thousands or tens of thousands, right? So, yung dealer, bibilangin lahat yun isa-isa. So, sometimes, napapansin po namin, there's gonna be an argument. Sasabihin po nung player, oh, I gave you $1,000, but you only gave me $900 in chips. Nangyayari po yun. Yung pong iba, honest mistake, but most of the time, gusto pong maisahan nung player yung casino. Okay? And the same thing can happen pag kinakash out po nila yung chips nila. Dahil pag nanalo po yung player, or kung natalo and they just wanna leave, gagawin po nila, they're gonna color up their chips. to the dealer. So imbes na dadalhin nila stacks and stacks of chips, they would change it for higher denominations. So when they go to the cage cashier, they're only carrying, a few pieces of chips instead of like stacks and stacks, right? So gagawin po ng mga ibang player, magko-color up sila. Color up means they're changing low denomination to high denomination. Sabihin, hey, I gave you $1,000 worth in chips. How come you only colored me up for 600 or 700? Nangyayari din po yun. It's another way that small timers try to cheat the casino. They want more for something less that they gave in. That's very common po. That's why on the casino floor, they train us to make sure that every time there's a money exchange or a chip exchange, any type of transaction where, something is going in or something is going out, the dealer is right there in front of it. The supervisor is right there in front of it. And depending how big the money exchange or the transaction is, even the pit manager will be present right there beside the table. Another common small-time cheat, small-time daya. Kunyari, naglalaro yung tao. Okay? Tapos, palagyan nyo ng blackjack. So, yung dealer nagdi-deal. Boom, 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 boom. Okay? The dealer, ended up with a 17 sa blackjack. And 17, it's like the worst hand for a dealer to deal himself. Dahil ibig pong sabihin nun, he has to look at every single hand and make sure that he pays correctly, accordingly, right? Hindi katulad, kunyari, blackjack yung dealer, you just take all the bets unless it's a push. Or if the dealer busts, bayaran mo lahat yung taya sa mesa mo, hindi ka na mag-iisip, right? So usually, this happens when a dealer pulls 17. Sasabihin po ng tao, Hoy, ba't di mo ako binayaran? Dapat binayaran mo ako. Dahil yung total ko, mas mataas sa total mo. Madalas po mangyari yun. Sometimes, it's an honest mistake. But sometimes, it's somebody na gustong maisahan yung casino. Dahil nangyayari po kasi ganito. Depende kung gaano kalaki yung pera, yung taya. Sometimes, we don't need to go to surveillance. Sometimes, we just make a decision right on the spot. Dahil may threshold po yung mga decision-making process namin as management, right? If it's like under $50 or under $100, we can just make a decision right on the spot without having to call upstairs. We use the honor system. So, first time, we'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Kung sasabihin niya, nakolekta na yung baraha and we couldn't really reconstruct the hand anymore dun sa blackjack, babayaran na lang namin. We'll give him this one. But if it happens over and over and over again, obviously something's fishy, we would go upstairs to the camera, to surveillance. But most of the time, we just kind of give it. Okay? So guys, I'm gonna use blackjack as an example for a lot of these things that we're gonna talk about dahil everybody's familiar with blackjack, diba? Everybody can relate. So, sa blackjack, yung spot 7, it's the most vulnerable spot para sa casino. Dahil depende kung honest yung tao na nakaupo sa spot 7 or mandurugas, dun po magkakatalunan kung ano gagawin ng tao na nakaupo dun. Palagay nyo na, okay, nandun na yung sa spot 7. So palagay nyo na, turn na nung tao sa spot 7 to act on his hand. Either, no cards or either hit. Okay? We have to be very, very certain, as in 100% klaro kung ano gusto nilang gawin. Because kung mandaraya yung taong yun, which a lot of mandaraya, they sit on spot 7, okay, they're gonna give you a false signal para, hoping na bunutin nung dealer yung baraha dun sa shoe, or at least, make a motion so they can peek to see what the next card is. So karamihan po ng beses, lilinlangin yung dealer. Kunyari, kukuha ng baraha. Tapos, yun, na-expose na yung baraha, di ba? Tapos, kung sumobra yung total niya, bust yung hand niya, so talo siya. So sasabihin ng tao, No. I did not ask for a card. Okay? I said, no more cards. You misunderstood me. That happens all the time. It really does. We were always taught from the very beginning, mag-iingat kayo sa spot 7. And a lot of mandurugas, a lot of small-time na mandaraya sa blackjack, dun sila nauupo to see how much they can get away with. So mga ate at mga kuya, now we're gonna move to the mid-level mandaraya. So, dito sa level na to, yung mga tao na mandurugas, na mga players, medyo lumalakas yung loob nila ng konti. So gagawin po nila, for example, itong una natin, magka-cap sila ng bet. Bet capping. Ibig sabihin po nun, kunyari, taya nila is a $5 chip. Just to make it simple, right? Tapos nanalo yung hand nila. So before the dealer looks at their spot, ang bilis ng kamay nila. Next thing you know, yung $5 chip nila, pinalitan nila ng $25 chip. That's called bet capping. And that happens a lot. It really does. Nung time ko po sa casino, oh my God, ang dami ko nahuling ganun. Nagka-cap ng bet. And obviously, sasabihin nila, oh, it was a mistake. I thought the hand was over. You know, I was just fixing my bet. Ganun yung mga tira nun. Pero oh my God, it happens so many times. You know, the hand will start with them having, for example, a green chip or a red chip. Red chip is $5. Green chip is usually $25. Tapos pag nanalo, titignan nyo ulit, naging black chip na lang yung taya nila. Ano nangyari? So from $25, naging $100. So they were capping. Okay, we were taught how to spot cappers too. Okay? And usually pag to nangyari, no, we take this seriously. Because cheating na talaga to. This is just blatant cheating. And, you know, we usually call surveillance and we have our own protocols to follow whenever we encounter stuff like this. Pag natatalo naman yung tao, what they do is they take bets off. They do the opposite. So, magdi-deal ng baraha. Blackjack again. Yung tao, di ba? Yung dealer, magdi-deal. Tapos, he pulls a blackjack. Okay? Ibig sabihin po nun, talo lahat. Ang tao dun sa mesa. So, bigla kong mapapansin, yung bet ng isang mandaraya na we already suspect, from $100 naging $25. So, sinwitch niya. Nangyayari po madalas yun, lalo na pag busy. Lalo na po pag yung napansin ng mga mandaraya, yung dealer bago, di masyadong veterano. You know, they take advantage of that. They really do. Tinetesting nila, you know, how alert this dealer is. So, we were always told, pag nag-bust yung dealer, or anytime nagko-collecta yung dealer, payout, take this, take that. Kailangan po, nanunood kami like a hawk. Because, you know, marami pong tao, they will try to take advantage. Alam niyo yung roulette, yung merong yung wheel, tapos merong bola, umiikot. So marami rin pong nag-a-attempt na mangdaya dun sa game na yon. Dahil usually on a Saturday night, Friday night, napaka-busy po. As in, napakadaming tao, siksikan sila, right? So the dealer has to be extra cautious pag nagtatrabaho siya. So, palagay nyo na, nangyari, bumagsak yung bola, number 23. Usually, yung buong layout, punong-puno po ng chips yan. Okay? Yung mga mandaraya, ginagawa nila dahil napakadaming distraction, di ba? You know, so many people around, there's so many money, there's so much money, there's just so many things going around. Pinagmamasan po nila yung dealer. The moment the dealer takes his eyes off of the winning number, napapansin ko minsan, yung taya, it moves from a corner to a split. Or even worse, it moves from a split to a straight up. For all of those people that don't know, a corner pays 8-1. Split pays 17-1. Straight up pays 35-1. So yung pong mga mandaraya, what they do is they push the bet when the dealer is not looking to get a higher payout on the winning number. Napakadalas po nun. That's why on a weekend, pag napakadaming tao doon, yung pong surveillance, pesteng-peste sa amin. Galit na galit because, you know, every so often we have to make a phone call upstairs to confirm a payout before we pay it out. Madalas po mangyari yun. Yung mga tao gustong isahan yung casino. So guys, now we're gonna move to the big time cheaters. Okay? So we've progressed from small time to mid-level. Now nasa big time tayo. Okay. So, sa casino po na pinagtrabahuhan ko dati, one of the biggest cheats that we've encountered was counterfeit. Yes, counterfeit chips and counterfeit money. Yes, guys. So, as you all know, pag pumasok kayo ng casino, we use plain chips doon sa mesa. Kung maglalaro kayo, di ba? You have to change your money for plain chips. So, meron po dating incident, meron pong kumopya ng plain chips. Yes, kinopya nila. Because it's not hard to do. If anything, it's easier to counterfeit a chip than to counterfeit money. So, we've encountered one occasion na meron po kaming nakitang mga counterfeit. $100 chips, yung itim. This was way back during the beginning. So, ginawa po ng casino, they started putting those, there's a chip, like a little microchip or computer chip, whatever you want to call it, on every single $25 chip and up. Yung pong ginawa nilang measure to counter that. So, if you enter a casino right now, mapapansin nyo po, lahat ng higher denomination chips, 25, 100, 500, 1,000, 5,000, there's a little silver dot inside or on the face of that chip. And that's how casinos are able to keep track of the property of the chips. Dahil, kung isipin nyo guys, tita nyo lang yung isang chip na ganun, di ba? Napakadaling counterfeit nun. It's just plastic. You know, I don't know how to do it, but they've done it, and I've seen it, and you can't tell the difference. Up until they started putting that microchip in it. Ngayon. And we've also encountered a lot of counterfeit money. Yes. Napakadami pong pera na pumapasok in and out dun sa casino. As in, if I told you how much money I've seen, it's gonna blow your mind. It really would. So, yes, I know we've been trained to spot fake currency, but sometimes, you know, it's unavoidable that it would slip because of the volume na pera na hinahawakan namin, di ba? Somebody gives you like a stack of $100 bills, 10,000 total. You're gonna lay every single bill out. Okay, we were taught how to feel. We were taught to look for markers to make sure that they're not counterfeit. But you know, we're just humans, right? Tao lang tayo. Hindi po maiiwasan every now and then something slips. So over the years, yes, we have encountered occasions where, you know, we got counterfeit money. So guys, one of the big time cheat scenarios that I have witnessed in the past, and this happened 2 or 3 times in my career, is when yung mga mandurugas, yung mga mandaraya, yung mga salarin ng mga players, what they would do is they would approach a dealer, they would approach a supervisor, and they would approach at least a pit manager. Tapos mare-recruit po sila to become part of a team, a cheat team, para nakawan yung casino. And unfortunately, yes, this happens. Dahil marami pong beses, yung mga nagtatrabaho sa casino, sila pa po yung lulong sa sugal. Ibig sabihin nun, marami po nangangailangan dahil nabaon na. So pag nabaon yung tao, they become desperate, right? And yung mga sugarol na mga players na like bad people, they can spot people like that from a mile away. Yung mga desperado talaga. And there's been occasions in the past where, like I said, they would recruit a dealer, a supervisor, and like I said, at least a pit boss or a pit manager. Dahil yun po that's the first 3 lines of defense. Yes, it's the first 3 lines of defense that the casino has against yung mga cheaters. So, mangyayari po ganito. Let's use blackjack as an example again. So, mauupo yung tao, yung player na nag-recruit yung sa tatlong taong yun sa mesa. And he'll make sure na nandun lahat yung mga players. When I say players, yung mga tao. The dealer, the supervisor, and the pit manager. Okay? So, maglalaro. At the beginning, easy muna. You know, that way they don't raise any type of suspicions, di ba? Next thing you know, tumataas na ng konti yung bet. And next thing you know, nananalo na ng konti. And next thing you know, kahit dapat mangolekta ng pera yung dealer, nagbabayad instead. Okay? Kahit nag-bust na yung player, binabayaran pa rin. And kunyari, nanalo ng legitimate hand yung player, imbis na babayaran lang ng dealer yung taya, meron pang palaman, meron pang pasobra. You know? Or, gagawin ng dealer, magpipeek to see what the next baraha is, and very subtle, bibigyan ng sign yung player, very subtle, na, hoy, huwag ka nang kumuha ng baraha. Hoy, you know, magbabas ka kung kukunin mo tong barahang to. And we've encountered, unfortunately, teams like this, or incidents like this in the past. And, you know, it's really sad, dahil katrabaho mo, kilala mo, di ba? And ganito po nangyari. But it happens. And it's not an easy thing to do. Pero kung mangyari po, it's one of the worst things that can happen on the casino floor dahil yung integrity po, yung integrity ng buong team, you know, it goes down the toilet. Lalo na kung kumalat. Kung malaman ng buong bayan na ganito nangyayari sa loob ng building na to, di ba? But it happens. It happens. So guys, right now, we're gonna talk about pro-level cheating. Okay? Pro-level cheating. And usually, you're gonna see this sa mga malalaking casino where the limits are high because there's more freedom to bet big, to bet small, and to bet anywhere in between, di ba? And usually, the bigger the property, the bigger the venue, you know, the less obvious it would be dahil napakadaming tao. So, I guess, nakita nyo na to all over the internet or nabasa na ninyo about advantage players. What we consider advantage players, guys, are people that know a little bit too much about gambling versus the normal person. Okay? And, you know what? If I have to talk about this in this video, aabutin tayo ng tanghali. But basically, ganito yan. Yung mga card counters, mga card mechanics, take note, card counters, card mechanics, and even magicians. Totoo to, guys. Yung mga card counters, sa blackjack mo makikita yan. Okay? What they do is they keep track of ratios of the high cards to low cards. And, you know, they, in their head, you know, they assign a count. Okay? I'm not going to go into detail on how that works. Just look it up, okay? Basically, if the true count is high, it means there's more face cards left in the deck sa blackjack. And if the count is low, it means madaming low cards. So it's to the player's advantage if the count is high. Ibig sabihin, maraming face cards na lalabas dun sa shoe. So, pag mataas yung count, lalaki yung taya nila. Pag mababa yung count, maliliit lang yung taya nila. Generally, that's the idea. You can look it up more in Google because it's a little bit more involved. You know, I'm just giving you like the super, you know, easy definition of it. Okay? So, it's not illegal to count cards. Dahil wala naman kayong device na ginagamit, utak nyo lang, di ba? So, advantage players, they count cards in big casinos, right? Meron pa nga count team. You know, it's not just one guy, but it's actually 2 or 3 or 4 guys, right? It's not illegal, but yung casino, ayaw nila ng card counters. So even though there's no guarantees na mananalo lagi yung card counter, their mathematical advantage over the casino is a lot higher compared to like a normal gambler. And ayaw po ng casino yon. So in a way, I guess you can consider that cheating, but not really. because I've touched up very slightly on this on the last video. Whenever we encounter a card counter, okay, since they're inside the building and the building is considered private property, we can simply, come to them and say, hey, sir, we believe that your game is a little bit too strong for us and we would like you to leave. So, trespass ng casino yon. And then what they do is they put his name on the database, or not his name, his file on the database, because most of the time, yung mga card counters, mga walang player's card yan. They come in very anonymously and they keep it that way, right? So yung surveillance namin sa taas, they would take pictures of them and, they do all the descriptions and how they play. All the information goes into a file. And like the casino I work for shares it with everybody else, every other casino out there. That way, the moment they enter the casino, face recognition, diba, from surveillance, they would know right away that this guy has been trespassed from one casino because of suspicion of card counting. So the next casino that they go to, they would get trespassed also. That's how that works. So it's not illegal, it's advantage play, because you're not really, the card counter is not using any type of machine. Okay? Instead, ginagamit lang niya yung utak niya to keep track of what comes out of the shoe as far as baraha is concerned. But the casino don't like that. And most of the time, even though they have not proved that he is legitimately card counting, he or she will be trespassed. It's just protocol. And then his information or her information will be spread out and shared between other casinos also. So that's pro level. So guys, when you walk into a casino, ang daming games, di ba? Mapapansin ninyo, yung casino ayaw na ayaw mag-offer ng games unless they really have to, where we share the equipment with the patrons. Ano ibig sabihin ng Kuya PuTo? Well, mga games where, pahawakan sa player yung dice when it comes to craps, pahawakan sa player yung baraha when it comes to poker or blackjack, pahawakan sa player yung roulette ball, like things like that. Ayaw na ayaw ng casino yon because vulnerable kami. As in, we become very, very vulnerable, di ba? Dahil napakadaming tao po dyan. They will use that to their advantage. They can manipulate, equipment to work in their favor the moment na mahawakan nila. Sa craps po, like I know it's a very popular game, so, we have no choice but to allow the players to hold the dice and throw the dice. Okay? There's been so many incidents in the past where, pag nakuha ng player yung dice, they would switch it with a loaded dice. So yung loaded dice na yon, when the player throws it, with enough practice, dahil mga professionals po to, they can manipulate the outcome of the dice. The casino has its own protocols, like, every 5 minutes or every 20 minutes or so, they would check the dice, they would calibrate it to see if it's still the same one, and they would change it, right? So they have like measures to combat, that type of cheating. But like I said, whenever a player is able to touch, casino equipment, that's when pandaraya can happen, right? Maniwala kayo o hindi, guys, yung mga card magicians, they could be the best cheaters sa loob ng casino. Like I said po, nung nagtatrabaho ko dati sa casino, part of my job was to go take all of these training courses, right? What they would do is they would send us to school, or they would send a consultant from Las Vegas, like ex-cheats, and they would show us basically card tricks that these people use to manipulate the game. Maniwala kayo o hindi, okay? In the game of poker, we had this card mechanic teach us and show us many different tricks that players can use, to gain advantage on a poker table, okay? Magdidil ng baraha itong card mechanic na to. And I've seen it with my eyes, like I was sitting right there. And our job during that training session was to catch exactly what he was doing. So Hold'em poker, to all of those people here that know Hold'em poker, you would know what I'm talking about. So magdidil ng baraha to. Okay? Binalasa na yan. Magdidil siya ng baraha. And then after he dealt everybody cards, okay? Sasabihin niya, okay, I gave spot 1 a flush. I gave spot 2 a full house. I gave spot 3 a straight. I gave spot 4 a 3 of a kind. Hindi po ako makapaniwala. But yeah, it's been done and it's being done and it can be done on the casino floor. Yung mga card mechanics po yan, totoo. So like I said, if there is a game where the patrons are allowed to touch casino equipment, the casino is very, very vulnerable. And to the right person, napakalaking potential po yan sa pandaraya. So guys, since we're talking about card mechanics, pag-usapan din po natin yung mga card markers. Yes, Kuya PuTo, ano yung card marker na yan? So, sa casino po, yung mga games where yung mga players, pwede nilang hawakan yung baraha. Ginagawa po nila, minamarkahan nila yung baraha sa likuran. Either by magic ink or like a little indentation. Little tiny indentation, di ba? Na it's not really that visible to the human eye. So, nangyayari po noon every time they see an ace, a face card, or what have you, like something, like a high card, mamarkahan po nila yon. That way, the next time na shuffle ng dealer, tapos magdi-deal, even if the cards are face down, since minarkahan na po nila yon, alam nila kung ano yung card na yon. But like I said, ginagawa po ng tao yun ng iba, ng mga mandarugas. Pero, there's certain protocols that the casino does to battle this type of behavior. So guys, etong mga example na binigay ko sa inyo, these are all the simple ones. That way, a lot of our viewers can understand. I don't want to go deep, because if I go deep, I'm afraid na a lot of mga ate at mga kuya natin out there na pinapanood to, baka hindi nila maintindihan, di ba? I just wanted everybody to be able to relate to this guy. Lahat ng mga sinabi ko dito, mga simple lang talaga. But it gets worse. And there's a million more. And like I said, if I had to speak about everything, aabutin po tayo dito ng 3-5 araw. Dahil there's so many ways that yung mga players po, lalo na yung mga lulong sa sugal, yung mga salarin. salarin, I don't know. I heard it on Rafi Tulfo. Bad people. They would do everything and anything to get an advantage over the house, diba? Because, masarap manalo eh. So, yeah, as in, I've seen so many over the years, and it's just crazy. It just really is. And when I say, yung pong karamihan ng pangdurugas, hindi po nanggagaling sa casino. Instead, nanggagaling po sa mga players. Totoo po yun. Casino offers sugal. Casino offers addiction. Pero, for the majority, like I said, especially if it's regulated, yung pong daya, hindi po manggagaling sa kanila dahil they would face so much fines up to shutdown, if they would exhibit such behaviors, di ba? And it's not good for business. So yeah, karamihan po nanggagaling sa mga players. So sana naman guys, natuwa kayo kahit konti dito sa video na to, and I hope meron kayong natutunan. And if you want to hear more stories about casinos, about gambling, about sugal, let me know. Papakadami nating storya. So this is Kuya PuTo, guys, wishing you good night, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Stay hungry, stay humble, keep your hustle strong. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.